These are the ingredients that we are going to need for today's nachos. Please make sure that your oven tray is foiled before you start with your rack. We're going to need some grated Gouda cheese, some mixed bell peppers, and we have onion powder, garlic powder, some black pepper, white wine vinegar, some sea salt, barbecue spice, chicken spice, oregano, some basil, some brown sugar, barbecue sauce, mayonnaise, oil, and our tortilla chips. Now, I'm going to show you how to make the marinade for the chicken. We are going to start off by using a tablespoon, and we will take 2 tablespoons of our mayonnaise. I prefer to use Nola, but you can use any mayonnaise that you like, preferably tangy. And now we need 2 tablespoons as well of our barbecue sauce. Any barbecue sauce that you have at home that's a little bit sweet, not too much, but it has that little element that we need. We're going to use 1 tablespoon of white wine vinegar, and here you can actually substitute apple cider vinegar as well, that also works, and 1 tablespoon of oil. I am using canola oil here, but any vegetable oil will work very well. And now we are going to use a teaspoon for our spices. So that's half a teaspoon of onion powder. I buy my onion powder from Woolworths. They're the only place that I know of that has onion powder. Some garlic powder, half a teaspoon as well, also from Woolworths. And we are going to just sprinkle in our herbs. No need to use a spoon or teaspoon. This is some oregano and basil. You can just eyeball it. They're pretty strong, so you don't want to put in too much of the herbs, just a little bit. And we are also going to use a full tablespoon, or a full teaspoon actually, of the barbecue and the chicken spices, a full teaspoon. And now you will want to make sure that you mix everything very, very well to ensure that it is incorporated into the sauce marinade, because the onion powder and garlic powder tend to clump together, so you just want to make sure that that doesn't happen. And what you will do next is you'll just put this aside and have your chicken cleaned up and placed into the marinade for at least an hour. I personally like to marinate my chicken overnight, so I will do this prep the day before I decide to make the nachos. It just tastes so much better. And you can double or triple this recipe to suit your needs, depending on how much chicken you want to use and marinate. So minimum an hour, but at most, if you can, overnight. And please make sure that your oven is preheating at 180 degrees before you start with this process. We are going to bake our chicken for 30 minutes in our oven, and while the chicken is baking, the sauce that I taught you how to make earlier, we are going to just heat it up a little bit for like 2 minutes, because we will use this later on when we mix it with our chicken, just to give our chicken some juice, some moisture, so it's not dry, because grilling tends to dry our chicken. So just stir this up, make sure it's on a medium-low heat, a 3 on your stove if you have a stove that goes up to 6. After you are done with the sauce, you'll just put it to the side and let it sit. Now we're going to check on our chicken. We will have reached the 30-minute mark and we want to turn it over. And for this process, it might be easier to just get a fork just to help you move things along at a quicker pace. And what I like to do here is I like to take the container that I was marinating the chicken in and just the leftover marinade just baste over the chicken, again to ensure that our chicken is not drying out, just giving it some more moisture and helping it along. Now that we've done basting our chicken, we're going to put it back in. So now I'm going to choose about 4 pieces that are mostly meat and not a lot of bone. And this is enough to make 2 servings. So if you want to make 2 servings for 2 people, then 4 pieces of chicken will work really well for you if you're just marinating on a small scale. But if you want, say, 4 people, then you'll double the amount of chicken, 8 pieces of chicken. And here I use 2 forks to shred my chicken. I find this to be the most efficient way to do it. You can use a fork and a knife if you prefer. You can use your fingers. You can actually grate the chicken. So anything that you are comfortable with, you can use that method. It takes quite some time, so just have a little patience. Now that our chicken is completely shredded, what we want to do is we want to add it to the marinade sauce that we made earlier. And we're just going to spoon the chicken mixture into the pan with the sauce. Now you want to mix the chicken in very well with the sauce, making sure that it is completely covered. Now you are going to need a dish or a plate or a bowl, anything that you prefer to plate your nachos in. I am using Smart Bite tortilla chips from Clicks. I love these. They have some seeds mixed into them. They're really, really yummy and actually pretty cheap, under 20 Rand. And they usually have some specials where you can get a whole pack for free. So now I'm just going to assemble them. The first layer of tortilla chips, and then spoon the chicken mixture over this. You can be as generous as you want. I'm hoping to spread this over 2 servings, so I'm using it a bit sparingly. And then sprinkle your cheese over the chicken. I'm going to do a second chip layer. And we're going to repeat with another layer of chicken. This is the part where you add your mixed bell peppers. This will add an element of freshness to the nachos. It's a really, really good addition, but you can always leave it out and then top it off with some more cheese. Now what you want to do is you want to put this in your oven for 5 minutes under grill to make sure that your cheese is all melted and gooey. And I'm going to repeat the whole process of assembling again on my second dish. So that's your nacho layer, chicken layer, cheese, another nacho layer, chicken again, bell peppers, and cheese at the end. And now here are our nachos straight out of the oven. And for this process, you could actually also use a microwave if you prefer, if you have one, or just straight back into the oven that you were grilling your chicken in. They all melted, they look good, and the chips have actually browned a little as well, so that's such a nice touch. And here you go, some easy, yummy chicken nachos. I hope you enjoy. And thanks for watching.